Hello Dark Food community and welcome back. For those of you who are new, hello and welcome. My name is Katie and I'm your virtual fitness dietitian here to help you get strong, confident, and connected with your body by mindfully fueling your muscles. So today we're going to talk a little bit about the benefits of mindful eating and kind of what mindful eating really means, because I've heard a lot of different definitions floating around and I think people kind of have their own definition of what mindful eating means to them. So it's important to define it and what it means. So grab a cup of coffee, relax, and sit with me and let's just talk a little more about why you should start mindful eating today. Mindful eating has a lot of different definitions to it, but first and foremost, the most broad definition of mindful eating is being aware and in the moment when you're eating foods and when you're making choices about food. So when you're eating food, you are present in the moment, you are with that meal, you are not distracted by technology, by reading the newspaper, by books, by television, by other things in your external environment. You are fully focused on that meal or snack. And then when it comes to making food decisions, you are present and in the moment when you're making the decision to eat a snack or to eat a meal and what exactly is going to be in that snack or meal. When you're in the pantry and you're searching for something, you're not just being a zombie and being mindless and grabbing whatever comes to mind. You're thoughtfully thinking about what would best fuel you in this moment. And it also goes with meal planning and grocery shopping. So are you being intentional with your grocery shopping and your planning and thinking ahead about what would best fuel you for the week? If you just go to the grocery store and buy random foods, you're not being as mindful as to what you know fuels you from past experiences and just from your own nutrition knowledge. Mindful eating is also using all 5 of your senses. So touch, taste, sight, smell, hearing. Are you truly using all of your senses when you're eating that meal or snack? Or are you kind of half there, or just you're looking at your food but you're not really tasting it, or you're tasting your food but you're not really looking at it, you're looking at the TV, or you're distracted with something else. Maybe there's a lot of distracting smells like a candle in the air. That can be even another example of how we can kind of get a little mindless with our eating. And another thing that I don't think gets talked about enough is mindful eating is eating all types of foods without judgment. So without labeling foods as good or bad, and without shaming ourselves or telling ourselves that we were a bad person because we had a few extra cookies. So now that we've discussed a little bit about what mindfulness means in a general sense, let's chat about how mindful eating can help you and why you should start incorporating mindful eating in your life right now. This is not an exhaustive list of benefits, but just the 5 things that kind of come to mind when I think of the benefits of mindful eating, because mindful eating has really impacted my life, so I know for a fact that it can help a lot of you guys out there too. To start with, less food guilt. As I kind of mentioned in the definition of mindful eating, a lot of times when we're consuming food without really thinking about it, there comes a lot of judgment after the fact, and judgment for ourselves, judgment about foods and what's good or bad for us. And so it leads to kind of an unhealthy relationship with food in general. We tend to just view things in black and white, and we don't give ourselves the space to just be human and to eat a cookie sometimes, but also eat our recommended serving of fruits and vegetables every day. There can be a balance of both. And I think when you're more mindful in your day and in your eating, you're more likely to just have that lack of judgment there and positive relationship with food and appreciate those foods that you're consuming in your body. It sounds kind of backwards, but the less shame and guilt that we put on ourselves about the food choices that we make, the more likely we are to eat healthy and have a healthy relationship with food. I know it sounds kind of weird, but shame and guilt tends to lead to overeating, binging, and just overall feeling low self-esteem and low confidence, which leads me to my next benefit. The next benefit is less overeating. So I by no means want to make this like a diagnostic thing. I'm not saying that mindful eating will cure binge eating or binge eating disorder or anything like that, even though it has been used in the treatment of that. I don't want to just give you this umbrella statement that mindful eating will automatically fix you. It takes time to develop the skills, and so therefore it can take time to overcome things like binge eating and overeating. eating, but let's just call it overeating for the sake of this video. Mindful eating can help with overeating because the more we're using our senses and really taking our time in eating, the less likely we are to go overboard because we're feeling our hunger and fullness cues. That's a very key component to mindful and intuitive eating, is listening to your body and its hunger and fullness cues. And it sounds really basic and really easy to do, but it's so basic that a lot of us really aren't doing that. So you can measure on a scale of 1 to 10 how hungry you are before you eat. And while you're going through your meal, you can reassess how full you are. Now, it takes about 20 minutes for your body to fully register its fullness. So it does take time, and the more you eat slowly with mindful eating, the more chance you'll get to get an accurate reading of how full you are, and the less likely you are to feel stuffed after a meal. This isn't gonna be a perfect, flawless thing every single time. You're gonna make little mistakes here and there, and that's totally normal. And it's not to say that we should never ever just have a day where we eat just a little bit more than normal. Again, we're all human. We all have normal human lives. And as your dietitian, I'm telling you that it's okay to not follow a meal plan or whatever eating plan you follow perfectly all the time. In fact, it's very normal for your body to get a little variance in calories from day to day, so it doesn't get stuck at a certain number or have a metabolic adaptation to the number that you're following. Especially if it's a low number, your body kind of slows down your metabolism to adjust to such a low calorie intake. So having a variety of intakes from day to day is normal. You're not working out or active in the exact same way every single day, so why would you be eating the same amount of calories every single day in the same way with the same foods? Reason number 3 why you should start mindful eating today is having a greater appreciation and a greater amount of gratitude for the foods that you eat. And now this sounds kind of like hippy-dippy a little bit, but the more we take a moment to pause and evaluate our senses and enjoy and appreciate the foods that we eat, the more likely we are to experience gratitude not only in the foods that we eat, but in our lives in general. This is a big statement to make, I know, but one mindfulness strategy that you can use is to think about where your food came from. Think about the company that manufactured the food, or think about the garden that your food came from, or the farm that your food came from, and think about the farmers that made that food possible for you. The more you look back on the chain of how that food got to your plate, the more you are likely going to appreciate the food in general. It's such a basic human need that I think sometimes we go without fully appreciating the foods that we have available to us and the variety that we have available to us. It's a deep thought to have, and you don't have to, do this every single meal, but I think just every so often, just sitting back and appreciating what you have is such a healthy thing for the mind. Reason number 4 why you should start mindful eating today, and the benefits of mindful eating, is lowering food stress. We have all different types of stress every day of our lives, so food stress is something that we definitely want to avoid because we can't live without food. It's not like alcohol or cigarettes. We can't just ditch them cold turkey. We have to eat food. So it's important that we have a healthy relationship with food and that we can lower our food stress by having a more mindful approach to eating. And this can be true for like when you go out to eat with your friends, or you go to a birthday party and you know that there are going to be maybe some less than nutrient dense foods there. Mindful eating will help you feel comfortable and confident going into those situations and not feeling like you're just going to go completely off your normal eating plan because there's cake there or because there's pizza there. You will know in your heart that you can mindfully enjoy one of those foods, or maybe you can plan ahead and have a snack beforehand that's healthier, and then have a smaller portion of the foods that are less than nutrient dense. So you won't worry or stress out about those situations because you'll be confident in handling them with mindfulness and poise. And reason number 5 why it's so important to start mindful eating is that you'll realize that you can have a totally separate diet or different diet from your neighbor, and you both can still have a healthy diet. I think too often nowadays we think that there has to be one specific magical diet that works for everyone, but that's just not true. Some people do better on a lower carb diet, And some people do better on a higher protein diet. Some people eat vegetarian and some people eat vegan. Some people love meat, so they would never ever consider going vegan. And all of these categories of people can be healthy. I think it's the lack of judgment piece that helps with this part of the mindful eating puzzle. We're less focused on what others think and how others perceive our diets, and we're more concerned about just fueling our body to the best of our ability. So those are the 5 benefits of mindful eating. Let me know if I forgot any in the comment section below and what benefits you've seen from mindful eating. If you're interested in more topics like this one, let me know what questions you have in the comments below and I will make sure to make a follow-up video to this one. Don't forget, if you liked this video and you're not subscribed yet, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell to get notified next time I upload any videos, and also hit the like button. It helps me in the YouTube algorithm just get these videos out so I can help more people eat mindfully. So with that said, I will see you all in the next video, and the next meal or snack you have, make sure to have it mindfully. Bye guys.